what's going on, guys? Welcome to LS Garage. I'm back here with the newly acquired Corvette. I am going over the car right now with a clay bar. Just gonna kind of start cleaning it up. I went last night and ran through a car wash. It actually didn't get too dirty on the way back here, so that turned out pretty good. I'm going through the car right now and I'm seeing ladybugs all over everything. Must be ladybug season around here. Anyway, I'm going over the car with a clay bar. So far it's really clean. I've done the hood and I've done the top of the car, and as you can see, not a lot of dirt. So done the whole top, the entire hood. The hood didn't hardly have anything on it. Top had a little bit more. I think I picked up a little bit of gunk around the molding. There's a little bit of glue, silicone kind of sticking out a little bit in some places, but I guess it's to expect it. It was a Florida car, so it got hot a lot, I'm sure. So anyway, those of you that haven't ever done a clay bar before, it's super easy. Obviously you want to start with as clean of a car as you can get. You know, when you clay bar a car, typically you use, McGuire's makes a kit that I like. Comes with 2 or 3 of these little squares. Actually, I'll show you a rectangle here. Comes with this. It's actually just like molding clay, but it's got polymers in it that are good for paint, and it pulls crud off the surface. So what you want to use is like a quick detailer spray. I mix my own with like a no rinse car wash stuff I've had forever. It still works pretty good. I don't really use it for that anymore. I just use it to mix up this quick detailer mix. So what I do is I use like a quick drop or 2, probably like an ounce of that soap in water, and I just mix it up in that bottle. It's an old bottle I've had forever that I use for this. And what you want to do is you want to lubricate the clay, get it wet, knead it, get it wet throughout, spray the hood, spray the area you're working in, and then just clay it. What I mean by clay it is you just literally flatten this out. So you can do it one-handed a little bit. Most people have probably already done this, but it's a real quick, easy way to get dirt off your paint. The bigger the vehicle, the longer it takes, obviously. So this area I'd started, get the clay a little wet again. So what you do, I'm not a lefty, but you can get the idea. Basically, you just want to go in a back and forth pattern. You can do circular, you can do back and forth. I usually do back and forth. That's what I'd read years ago. That's better. Basically, just go around the area. You can go in whatever pattern you want. You can do little squares. So long as you cover the surface, you can go all the way across. It don't matter, as long as you cover it. You want it to be slick and glide. So if you get hung up anywhere, spray the clay or spray the car. And you'll pick up crud along the way. I've done most of this area already. There's a little bit of black right in here, if you can see that right there or not. See my finger right in there. So you can go over an area. If you see a spot, hey look, it's gone. So just little stuff, little imperfections in the paint, pull stuff off pretty easily, a couple of swipes. Just keep an eye out, look for gunk in the paint, and it's a good way to pull it off. So work my way down here. This is about where I stopped earlier. I think I'd already done most of the hood, or the top rather. Kind of got a little bind right there, get a little of that water, spray it back up there, clay it down. There's a little bit of gunk right there. Get that gunk off. Drying out down here on the bottom. Spread some of that water around. Just clay it along the bottom, along the sides. Just go along here, make sure get close to the edges. And that's it. So basically you've pulled dirt off the paint. It also strips wax. So when you do this, you want to make sure that you apply some sort of top coat. So got a terry cloth, or I'm sorry, microfiber towel here. I'm going to flip it. Sorry for the camera. And flip it over, new side, and just, this part doesn't really matter. Just get the sitting water off the car. What you're gonna do is I'm gonna go back after I clay it tomorrow. I'm doing this over a few days. It's supposed to get rainy here for the next few days, so I thought, good, perfect opportunity for me to spend some time inside of this thing, start getting it looking good. So basically just kind of quick dry it. Got a little residue, but it doesn't matter. Once I get through claying the car, then I'll show you my buffing process. Everybody has a different way to do this. I don't expect anybody to think that I'm 100% right on how I'm doing it, because I don't even think I'm 100% right. but I've got a cheap way to do it that's worked on other cars. Did the SHO this way, just fine scratches out. But yeah, this has got some issues. In the light, you can see some scratches in the gas tank. I don't know if you can see it right there. Just surface stuff I think will come out. So right in here where my finger's at, you can see that one. So I'm hoping that a lot of this stuff will just come out. If not, no big deal. But all in all, I'm happy with the car. Really love the FRC trunk. That's what made me want another one of these cars. Is I love this body style. It's my favorite. So anyway, just a quick walk around, let you know what I'm doing. Gonna buff it next, and be right back. So I'm back again next night. Got pulled away yesterday and most of the day today. Anyway, just finished the car. I'll go ahead and flip the camera around here. It's easier for me just to show you guys what I did. So I clay barred the entire car, and I got a spot paint. Some people don't like using them. I think they work pretty well if you know how to use them. You guys can check out my work and see what you think. So the paint color is Duplicolor yellow. There you go, torch red. It matches the factory color of the car. So torch red spot paint. I went around and I used that on some small spots, and you probably can't even tell where they were. I'll get up close on some of these, you might be able to see them. So on this headlight, there's one there. Can't really see it until you get on it. Where is it? Can you find it? Let's see. A couple other little ones. Did such a good job you can't see where they are. Trick is to not glob it. Be patient with it. If it globs, wipe it. Try again. Let's see. There was a spot. Where was it? A spot on one of these corners right here, I think. That edge. Spotted that. Can't really tell now. Just blends in. Back out. Can't see it. So that's the cool thing about flat colors, is the metallic doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. So really easy to spot, doesn't need any clear. Can't really see it, so it worked out good. So I clayed it, cleaned those areas with alcohol where there were spots, and then I spotted them. I'm gonna let it dry overnight, and tomorrow I'm gonna start the buffing process. So just wanted to show you guys where some of those spots were. There's a few on this mirror, can't even find them now. There's a couple right there, but I'll go back over those. You just got the edge. So what happens is it fills the edge, and sometimes you have like a little corner where it may not clear, it may not fit all the way. I'll have to go back to that here in a minute. But the paint on this car is really good. I'm really happy with it. Really the only visual issues with the thing is this back seal right here. The other side is pulled up. Found a person, somebody online on Corvette forum actually pulled that out and redid it without having to take the glass out, which I'm not real thrilled about doing. I may try and clean this up. I'm not sure what they used to stick that down. I'm kind of afraid it's super glue, but even if it's super glue, I guess I could scrape it if it doesn't leave residue on the glass. I'm not sure. That's really the only other option I can think of on the other side, is to glue it in, but that would be hell trying to make it work again. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any other spots. There's a couple of little ones over here. That big one on the bumper. Can't see it, can you? Can't see it, can you, Russ? Where is it? I can't even find it now. Let's see. Look at my feel. Right here. Where's my finger? There it is. You can kind of see that one, just because it's textured. But I'll go back over that one tomorrow. In the morning. Won't buff this till tomorrow night. A couple little ones right here. Little spots right there. When you buff them, it kind of smooths them sometimes, if you're careful with it. So smooth out that little residue spot. This is what I was talking about. It tucks underneath that window. So if I can get that crud cleared off, scraped off, I might be able to stuff a new seal in there, or I might try and tug on this guy a little bit, because he's backed out right there. I try and push that in reseal it. I mean, it's just a little gap, so if I can get that to seal up. I hate to spend all that money, all that time, just for that little spot, but it's kind of crappy. The other door handle had a little spot I spotted, and this mirror had a couple little ones on the top. You see them right there. If you look for them, finger right under there. But yeah, it's pretty easy. So the paint's really good though. I'm really happy with it. The guy kept it in really good shape for guys. I guess I'm the third owner, so 2 Florida gentlemen had it before me. So yeah, the next order of business is to buff the car. I will do that tomorrow night. Getting kind of late here. It's about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Gotta go to work in the morning. So anyway, on that note, I'll be back in the morning. Hey, what's up? I'm back. It's a couple of nights later. I am finished clay bar in the car. I got pulled away a little bit. I did want to go ahead and spot paint the spots like I mentioned. And I've got some new stuff here. I'm going to show you guys. So flip the camera around here. I went ahead and ordered up some genuine GM emblems. Both of the emblems on this car, nose and the trunk, are missing. So the owner said they were cracked. They ended up taking them off. So this is the authentic GM stuff. I just unwrapped that one to take a look at it. And then the same thing for the front, except it's got these little tabs, basically alignment tabs. So there's actually holes in the bumper to help align that one. And then on the back, I think I may have mentioned before, if I didn't, one day to the next I can't recall, but if you look just right, you can see where the old, and there you go, catch it right there. You can see where the old emblem was, right there. So right in the light you can catch that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to take some measurements of where that guy is based on corners and just off the side. So I'll do a measurement up and I'll do a measurement over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually buff the trunk and the nose first so I can get these emblems on. And then I'll alcohol after I do that, and then I'll adhere them, and then I will wax, probably buff again. Well, buff wouldn't matter, I guess. I'll probably just wax over the emblems, and that way they're sealed up a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting my stuff ready. I'm not super advanced with this, guys, so bear with me. I use some pretty inexpensive stuff that works pretty well for me. Used it in the past. So I use this cutting pad. SPTM, I think. It's been a long time since I've bought these. I use these 2 cutting pads for buffing. There's a nice little moth, mosquito. I basically just wash them out myself and reuse them. Probably not ideal, but you know, I'm shade tree, so if it gets the scratches out, cool, that's all I'm after. So I use Meguiar's Ultimate Compound typically. It works pretty well. If I have heavier scratches, I'll use the fine cut cleaner stuff they have. And then to the waxing part, I will use, going through here my stuff, I use the Zano all-in-one typically. It works really well. I've used Zano products for a really long time. This is actually an old one and it's starting to separate, but last time I was able to revive it. Actually, I've got that and I've got this Tech Wax. I opened up the Tech Wax last time, a different bottle, and it was all separated and gross. So I'll try my luck with this Zano. It worked well before, but it's seen temperatures back and forth, so it's probably not ideal. But you know, like I said, I'm not a pro. So I use a Warrior brand DA polisher. Pull it out. It's a Harbor Freight job. It's noisy. It's not perfect, but it works. It's got different speed settings. I typically leave it around 4. Might crank it up a little bit for really bad areas. Typically between, you know, 3.5 to 4.5 is where I usually like to work. It goes all the way up to 6. Just flipping that dial around. So I typically don't run it that hot. I usually keep it around 4. And it usually works pretty well. So I've trimmed it down to accept these pads. Again, shade tree, put some Velcro on it. It works. It's easy for me. Heard some guys doing that a few years ago. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably just buff the area in the center, just around this, so I can get the emblems on. I'm just kind of anxious to get those on the car, and then I'll do the trunk. Probably do the trunk first. Do trunk lid, front end, see how it takes, see how that material, stuff's working on this, and I'll go from there. Lighting isn't the best back here, so I'll probably make a couple of passes and then shine my light on it, see how well it's doing. So I don't expect perfect, but I'm hoping I can get it to pull some of the light surface scratches out and get it all sealed up with a good wax. So that's where I'm at right now. Be right back.